It's almost unbelievable how fast things can shift in Hollywood. One minute, a couple is being paraded as the new golden pair of the industry, and the next, their entire relationship is crumbling in front of millions without either of them saying a single word. But if your name is Kylie Jenner, things just hit a level of public humiliation nobody saw coming. Because right now, it looks like her soft-launch summer romance with Timothée Chalamet has officially collapsed. And according to insiders, the way he ended it wasn't just cold. It was strategically cruel. And not just cruel to her feelings. Cruel to her image, her rebrand, and everything she's been trying to build these past 2 years. Hollywood insiders are whispering that Timothée didn't just walk away from Kylie. He used her to elevate himself, then discarded her in a way that sent a message to the exact circles Kylie desperately wanted to be accepted in. Those private fashion, art, and insider social worlds she's been trying to enter. The ones filled with Paris directors, niche designers, independent filmmakers, and new age intellectuals she thought she was aligning herself with. Timothée's silence in his Vogue interview told all of them, very loudly, "You don't have to treat her seriously. She's not one of us." And that is what has Kylie devastated. Because apparently this isn't just a breakup. This is a humiliation campaign, intentional or not, that has made Kylie feel disposable, unimportant, and overlooked in ways she hasn't felt since the Tyga era. Which, according to insiders, might be part of the reason this entire situation hits so deeply. It's like an old wound being ripped open all over again. But let's take this step by step. Because the way this all unfolded, it's messy, it's calculated, and it reveals a lot about how this relationship actually worked behind the scenes. For months, everyone noticed that Kylie and Timothée weren't being seen together as often. The Paris cafes, the Cannes balcony sightings, the quiet moments in the south of France all suddenly stopped. Kylie's soft rebrand into the delicate, chic, artsy girl suddenly looked shaky. She wasn't posting outfit pics inspired by Lily Rose Depp anymore. She wasn't subtly shaping herself into the intellectual girlfriend aesthetic. The energy felt different. And then came the Vogue interview. This is where things reportedly shattered for Kylie. It wasn't that Timothée refused to go into detail. Celebrities refuse details all the time. It was the tone, it was the phrasing, it was the absolute deliberate coldness of it. When asked about Kylie, Timothée didn't say, "I'm keeping things private." He didn't say, "There's someone special and I'm happy." He didn't say, "I don't want to share too much." He said, "I don't have anything to say." And followed it with, "I don't say that with any fear." Those two statements together, that's not privacy. That's a dismissal. That's a boundary with a sting. That's a man publicly signaling, this relationship is not valuable enough to even acknowledge. This wasn't done in a reality TV car confessional. This was Vogue. One of the most powerful arbiters of celebrity image. Millions read it. Fashion insiders dissect it. Hollywood publicists obsess over it. It is the stage specifically built for shaping perception. So when someone uses that platform not only to avoid speaking about their girlfriend, but to imply the topic of her doesn't even matter, that is a message. And reportedly, Kylie got that message instantly. Here's the thing people don't talk about. Articles like these aren't spontaneous. Every question is screened. Every answer is monitored. A PR team reads the transcript. A PR team can remove questions that cross boundaries. They can request cuts. They can shape the spotlight. If Timothée didn't want the Kylie question published, his team could have removed it. That's standard, especially for a relationship as high visibility as theirs. Vogue absolutely would have complied, but his team didn't. And that's why insiders say this wasn't an accident. This was intentional, a strategic distancing, a public turning point. One that let Hollywood know, whatever was going on between us, it's not going on now. But what makes this whole situation sting even harder is that Kylie reportedly believed they were past this phase, past the secrecy, past the soft launch, past the avoidance. According to someone close to her, she genuinely thought they had already crossed into real relationship territory. She thought he wanted to celebrate them, not hide them. She wasn't expecting a public declaration of love, just a shred of acknowledgement after 2 years of support. Because behind the scenes, Kylie wasn't some casual fling. People forget, she flew across continents for this man. Australia, France, New York. She arranged her schedule around his. She was present for him in a way she never let the public see. For someone as busy as Kylie, with kids, brands, shoots, meetings, and a whole empire, making that much time and effort for anyone means something. But apparently, the effort wasn't mutual. Sources say Timothée rarely returned the favor. Kylie was always the one flying in. Kylie was always the one rearranging. Kylie was always the one supporting his schedule. Meanwhile, he never showed up for hers. Not her birthday. Not Kris Jenner's birthday. Not major family gatherings. Not even small supportive moments. And sure, actors are busy. Schedules are tight. But funny enough, he had plenty of time for that Vogue interview. And that's why people close to Kylie are saying she's not just hurt, she's embarrassed. Because she believed the relationship had substance. She believed his distance was about privacy. She believed they were aligned. And then, instead of clarity, she got a quote that made her look like someone he didn't take seriously. Someone he didn't prioritize. Someone he could easily toss aside. What makes this worse is that Kylie has a long history of adapting her identity to whoever she dates. For Tyga, she took on Blac Chyna's aesthetic. When she dated Travis, she took on young sweet Rose vibe. The energy, the style, even the attitude. When she started dating Timothée, she shifted again. Softer outfits, more French influence, more candid photos, a Lily Rose Depp aesthetic. It happened again. It always happens. And that pattern has people questioning something deeper. Does Kylie shape herself around who she dates because she doesn't fully know who she is on her own? And if that's true, then this breakup is hitting a part of her identity, not just her heart. The most humiliating twist? Kylie reportedly invited Timothée to Kris Jenner's birthday party, one of the biggest events she could bring him to. Billionaires, designers, power players, people she wanted to impress, people whose approval would push her deeper into the fashion art elite she wants to enter. She asked him repeatedly, "Are you coming? Will you come?" "Everyone important will be there," she reminded him, hyped him, waited for him. He told her he had acting commitments. Except he didn't. Not real ones. He just showed up elsewhere, acting single. That, according to insiders, is what sent Kylie over the edge. Not just that he didn't come, but that he didn't respect what the event meant to her. That he didn't care how his absence and his Vogue silence would reflect on her socially. That he didn't care about the circles she was trying to enter. He sent her into that room alone. He let the whispers form without defending her. He let people assume whatever they wanted. And he did nothing to change the narrative. To those insiders, that wasn't just a boyfriend skipping an event. That was a statement of value, a signal to the room, a message that he didn't consider her worthy of acknowledgement. Not in private, and definitely not in public. And here's where things get even messier. People are now comparing this to Kylie's past relationships, and the pattern is painfully clear. Tyga kept her a secret, and she accepted it. Travis refused to claim her, even when she was pregnant, and she accepted it. With Timothée, same thing. Distance, avoidance, no acknowledgement. And she accepted it until she couldn't. But now, she's humiliated all over again. She's doing what she's always done, posting happy photos, pretending she's unbothered, making it seem like everything is fine. But behind the scenes, she is reportedly devastated, blindsided, and struggling with the emotional fallout of being publicly dismissed by someone she genuinely cared for. Hollywood insiders are saying people around Kylie are frustrated for her because she deserves better. Because she has allowed herself to shrink for men who never expand for her. Because she keeps gravitating toward men who like the convenience of her love, but not the responsibility of being with her. And that leads us into the deeper conversation circulating right now. Why does Kylie keep choosing the same type of man? Why does she keep ending up in relationships where she gives everything and gets almost nothing back? Why does she allow herself to be hidden, minimized, or treated like a placeholder? Because what's happening now with Timothée, it's not new. It's a pattern. And that pattern is starting to crack open in ways the public has never seen before, revealing something far more emotional, far more psychological, and far more telling about Kylie Jenner than anything she shares on Instagram. And yet, as wild as everything already looked on the surface, the energy online was shifting into something even more intense. People weren't just reacting anymore. They were investigating. They were digging up interviews, resurfacing old clips, dissecting quotes from friends of friends, and comparing timelines like a full-blown digital detective agency. And the conclusion many were reaching was that this wasn't some random rift. This felt like the natural result of two people living in completely different worlds colliding head-on. Because on one side, you had Timothée, a man whose entire brand is built on mystery, restraint, selective vulnerability, and absolute control over what the public sees. He shares only what he wants to share, and even then, it's wrapped in layers of subtlety. On the other side, you had Kylie, a woman whose world thrives on visibility, constant updates, curated imagery, and a lifestyle where everything is documented, posted, shared, and monetized. You couldn't find two more opposite approaches to fame if you tried. And that contrast became even sharper when people noticed how differently each of them handled pressure. When things got intense, Timothée withdrew. He got quiet. He tightened his circle. Kylie, on the other hand, pushed outward, posting more, attending more events, speaking out, making sure her narrative was visible and controlled. So when tension started brewing between them, the public could literally watch the patterns unfold in real time. Commenters pointed out that it almost felt like Timothée was trying to reclaim his space, stepping back, choosing silence, letting the rumors run wild without giving anything away. But Kylie's world couldn't tolerate silence. A rumor unanswered becomes a story. A story unanswered becomes a headline. And a headline unanswered becomes a narrative the whole world believes. That's why her team allegedly stepped in. Not because the relationship was necessarily over, but because silence is dangerous in the Kardashian universe. Still, despite the official "we're fine" message, the public wasn't convinced. Too many signs pointed toward distance, too many moments felt off, and the whispers about a major humiliation continued swirling with no sign of slowing down. Every new interview clip, every paparazzi shot, every subtle choice in wording became another ingredient in the drama. But here's the thing. Moments like this don't happen in isolation. They're part of a bigger story. A story about public relationships, celebrity image management, online obsession, and the constant tug-of-war between privacy and fame. And whether people are Team Timothée, Team Kylie, or just Team Popcorn, one thing was undeniable. The internet was hooked, and this chapter wasn't closing anytime soon. Because the reality is, when two massive worlds like theirs collide, the fallout is never small. It's loud, it's messy, and it always leaves people choosing sides. And if you want to stay ahead of every twist, every update, every behind-the-scenes detail the moment it breaks, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and stay locked in. There is so much more coming, and you're not going to want to miss a single second of it.